Were you one of the mean people who made one of these hellholes for your Terraria NPCs? You know what I'm talking about, these things. Because if it was you, I suspect you may have played a role in one of the great new additions to Terraria Journey's End. More on that in just a minute. I want to quote Loki from the official forums, who wrote, "Remember a few State of the Games ago when we mentioned that we were working on something pretty cool that would potentially change the way that people approach certain aspects of the game? Well, the time has come to give you a peek behind the curtain at Terraria HQ and let you in on some juicy details surrounding this new feature coming to Journey's End. Building has always been a staple of the Terraria experience, but functionally speaking, there's never been any real reward to making fun creations outside of the adoration of the community. Similarly, everyone builds their central base and sort of shoves everything there. Sure, some folks build in other biomes, but only for fun. What if we told you that Journey's End is going to change all of this up, raising building up to being a core gameplay feature with its own rewards? Introducing the Terraria Towns system. Towns will reward building like never before. Taking the time to spruce up your base or bases, plan for NPC placement, and building bases in multiple locations will now provide you a variety of benefits that have never before been available. Of course, you don't have to partake in this new system, but we think you will find the positives in doing so to be quite tempting indeed. Excited? Scared? Well, let's take a few minutes to dive into how this new approach to building works, shall we? And again, I think you can see where I was going with my initial comments on those ridiculously efficient but cold-hearted habitats many of us have been building for Terraria NPCs. So that may or may not have been the motivation. I don't think they'll necessarily officially acknowledge that, but I have to think it may have played a part. Certainly, as they've said, and I'm guilty of this, everyone seems to be in the habit of building their main base right near the spawn point, and then, maybe you'll build like an ocean shack or whatever, but generally speaking, everything's crammed into the center of the map. And it seems that they've taken a step away and just looked at the game and what's not being done, what could be done differently, and that's led to the Terraria town system. It's a really clever idea, and it's more of a change than I thought they would do at this point in the game's development cycle. Anyway, let's go into some detail on the Terraria towns system. Loki carried on by saying, "During Journey's End development, we conducted a focus group with all of the Terraria NPCs. Outside of some very strange requests, no guide, we cannot remove all doors at night, their feedback was very clear. They're tired of being shoved into tiny cubicles or L-shaped tubes, and they want you to know this." Okay, so maybe they did factor in these horrible constructions that have been used by players. Loki carried on, "In order to help raise NPC morale so that they could be at their very best, and to reward players who go that extra mile to treat their NPCs with the respect they deserve, we are introducing the NPC Happiness system. How does it work? What does this mean for you? Read on." And he detailed what affects NPC happiness. NPCs are happier when you locate them in biomes they prefer. NPCs are happier when they like their neighbors. NPCs are also happier when they are not overcrowded with other NPCs. Interestingly, adding nice furniture and aesthetics doesn't directly affect NPC happiness, but it sure will make you feel better about yourself when your friends come over for a visit. So what happens if NPCs are happy or unhappy? Well, NPC shop prices will adjust based upon how happy each NPC is at the time. If you make an NPC happy enough, you'll gain access to a pylon for that biome. More on this below. How do you tell if your NPCs are happy? You'll notice a new dialogue option for happiness for each NPC. This will give you hints about what might make them happier as well. Interesting. And again, it's a new core feature I really wasn't expecting. I know they were basically conducting an audit of the game from top to bottom, but this is a pretty big deal. And there's more. Loki wrote, pretty much everyone does the same thing when base building, right? A big central area right at the initial spawn point, crammed with NPCs and crafting station and storage and more. At best, people stick up a single room with a bed for boss fight respawns. We can do better than this, and what about all the other poor biomes that would love to have you set up shop in their neck of the woods? And again, those poor NPCs may not want to live in the forest biome. But wait, there's more. If you group at least 3 NPCs together in a given location, it'll be recognized as being a town. Towns are not subject to enemy spawning outside of invasion events, and you'll get to hear the super cool town music when you visit. I'll include a link to this Town Night spoiler music in the video description. Altogether, with Journey's End in conjunction with the Happiness system, you'll be rewarded for building multiple bases across the scope of your world like never before. And Loki posted a few images. First, this one of a forest base, followed by this one of an underground base. Interesting. Underground trees, I guess. He also posted this in the ice biome. Rather spectacular construction. I can't promise I'll build anything quite like this, but it looks really cool. And he wrote, well, that is great and all, but how will you get around your world to visit your now happy but far-flung NPCs? Let's bring it all together and close out with the brand new Pylons. We briefly discussed these mysterious pylons in our section on things you can get with happy NPCs. So what are these and why should you care? Well, if you have enough happy NPCs in a given biome, you will unlock the use of a pylon for that biome. Pylons allow you to instantly teleport from one pylon to another. With pylons in place, your big central base now becomes an interconnected network of cool outposts all over the world, allowing you to get around quickly without the need to lay tracks or teleporters, and providing you a home away from home wherever you are. And we can see from this image of the map that you get these interesting little pylon icons on the map, kind of similar to how you get the NPC faces on the map, just to give you a quick access to those. And in terms of instructions for its use, Loki wrote, you can only have one pylon of a given biome type placed at a time, so you can't have, for example, an ocean pylon at both of the oceans. Pylons must be placed in their aligned biome in order to function. You can place them anywhere else, but they won't work. Pylons must also have 2 nearby, and here's an important part, and living NPCs in order to function. Again, the idea here is to reward building those bases and towns. Pylons also cannot be used during boss battles or invasion events. So those are the ground rules. And he posted this animation which just shows the pylon system in action. It's just like a teleporter system without having to lay down the wires. It's very easy to access, and obviously one quick jump to the map and you can click all the way across. It's pretty neat. So there it is in action. As he indicates, pylons are quite easy to use. Once placed in their aligned biome, you simply click on a nearby pylon. This will take you to the map screen where you can locate another placed pylon to which you want to teleport. Click it and off you go. So that's a major change. You know, if you think back to the changes of yesteryear, I guess you can say yesteryear at this point, it's been so long. In the previous mega patches, I'm not sure we've seen any mechanics quite like this in terms of how it changes, just I would say from the very beginning, how you approach base building, right? Because if you're not going to have one giant base in the middle of the map, probably near right where you spawn, your save games are just going to end up so different than they have in the past. And with these crystals, it's going to be easy to jump around. And so you've got the benefit of jumping from place to place and really being able to take more advantage of the map and not feeling as stuck in the center of the map as we probably have for years now. But the dynamic of your NPCs and how they function and all of that's just going to be so radically different. It's a huge change, and frankly more than I was expecting. I have to say I like it. I might miss the old mega bases, but you know, this game is many years old now. I've had a long time to play it the old way, and I'm more than willing to try this new way. And frankly, if you're into base building, this is really going to be a boon for you, because it's really going to encourage, if not practically require, constructing bases in all kinds of different biomes and environments, and really separating NPCs out. So it's a very welcome change, I'm sure, to a lot of you watching the video. Anyway, that's it for now. There are a lot of new changes in Journey's End, so check for other videos. I just wanted to share this because I found it so interesting. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope everyone's well in this strange time of coronavirus and economic calamity. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.